lot of people doing their shopping, some of them specifically choosing Costco after other companies ditched their diversity, equity, and inclusion policies. Our Brittany Miller spoke to shoppers today in Harlem.
This wasn't your average trip to the grocery store. Every purchase had a purpose.
We're going to shop where we're wanted.
100 members of the National Action Network
act like this is some new shit. Every purchase had a purpose. Every purchase had a purpose. Like normally it don't. That maybe that's the way we think. Maybe our money and we don't take it seriously. Maybe when we spend our money, every purchase should have a purpose. I believe other communities feel that way. I don't think that when illegal immigrants come over here and open up taco carts and juice stands on the side of the road and other Latinos pull over and support it. They buy their stuff. If they came over here and nobody bought that shit, they'd go back home. People are actually buying that stuff off the side of the road. That means that they are purchasing with a purpose. They understand what the fuck they're doing. They're not just, they're even taking a little risk of their own for their health, you know, buying shit off the side of the road if that's what they choose to do. But the bottom line is they understand that concept of that community and how to uplift it. And how one day he won't be on the corner selling that shit. He'll be inside a building after, you know, recently arriving. That's what I'm trying to get at here. We don't need Target to tell us by not dropping DEI or anyone dropping DEI. That DEI shit don't mean very much to us. We get the least out of it. I think I had a video or 2 or 3 about this shit. I'm going to keep on. I got some more coming. It makes no sense for us to be crying and whining over these DEI practices. So what? Let them go away. We don't need them. What we need to be is driven to the point of where we have to start defending ourselves and start fighting for ourselves and stop doing things that are harming ourselves. If you find out some new information, you're out hanging out with a bunch of new cool Democrats and they're sitting around talking about the DEI policies at Target. That's the topic of a fucking conversation for a whole evening, which is a waste of a fucking conversation. But it's okay. So you're sitting around talking about fucking Target and their DEI practices. And we should boycott them because they got Tabitha Brown shit in there. Y'all know who Tabitha Brown is? She's the black lady who got a really good line of stuff. My wife and my daughter love her shit. Her stuff for the kitchen, stuff for the house, candles, all that. I ain't mad at her. Her shit is beautiful. But boycotting Target is not boycotting her. And boycotting Target is a waste of fucking time. Going and boycotting Target, it ain't boycotting Tabitha Brown. Tabitha Brown gonna be okay. People think that us, because she's making coffee mugs and shit with people with afros and all that, that we're the ones who are benefiting in some way, or we're the only ones who are buying that stuff and supporting. No. If her shit's in Target, Target knows that there's a national requirement for that brand or that style or whatever it is she's making. They ain't doing it out the kindness of their heart. Tabitha Brown is not on their fucking shelves because they like her or because they want to see black people do well in business. That ain't the way it go. But the point I'm trying to get at is, what good is boycotting Target going to do? First off, the biggest voice on the boycott that I've been hearing is Al Sharpton. That should let you know right there to turn the fuck around, go back the other way. Do not listen to a fucking word that man says. But if you do, and you end up boycotting because you think that there's going to be some benefit or they're going to bring back their DEI practices so they can hire more other DEI people other than black, we have to understand, if we don't understand nothing else, that if we don't do it exclusively for black people, it ain't getting done. We're always going to end up holding the door while others run through it and getting the least amount of the benefit, whatever it is. That's all. And that's why when they're on here trying to tell us that DEI, and you'll notice in the footage, they go in Harlem or somewhere where they can find a lot of black faces because that resonates. Because it's not easy to reach us like it used to be. We're a little more scattered out than we used to be in the United States, which is making our fight more difficult, which makes our boycotts meaningless like they were back then. Why would you boycott someone's shit because the doormats on the outside of their store aren't the color of your liking, or because they're not hiring the kind of people you want them to hire? It makes sense on a small scale, because if you got a department store and the town is black and the guy there won't hire any blacks in his store, and black people say, well, fuck it, we ain't shopping there. Now, that should be the end of it. Period. That's a store that we understand don't like us. Now, he can't go hire a black kid and then we start going back to the store. That's where we be fucking up. We know his true intentions and his true mind and his true heart when he told your black ass don't come over there in his store. But when you see that he hired a little black kid, we don't know who that black kid is or why the black kid took the job. Look, you know, probably talk to him bad or whatever, but I got to hire you, I guess, if I want to get those others in here. You know what I mean? That is not progress. What progress would have been to get pissed off and go open up our own store and go to it 100% of the time and never go back to that store, because you never have to boycott if it's your shit. You never have to tell people what color doormats to have or who to hire or who not to hire. It's your shit. You know, like it's their shit. They hire who the fuck they want. And as a result of that, they get the type of business that they get. We are just like a cherry on top of the ice cream sundae, because everybody already supports their community and its businesses. And we have to, by lack of having businesses to support, we're just all over the place supporting everybody instead of taking that time, instead of going out and shopping on a Saturday afternoon. Drop by one of your friends' house with a business plan. Do something online. Do something together. And let that be our new form of resistance. Just to take care of ourselves, to file our own nails and do our own feet and look out for our own self and watch what they can't target Martin Luther King and Malcolm X if everybody during that time period was doing what Malcolm X and Martin Luther King, not following them, but from their own mind, genuinely thinking of things that are going to help your race and doing them. Not being told. If somebody has to tell you what to do to help your group of people out, to help your race out, what is going on in that knucklehead of yours if you can't think of something that's going to help your race? Hey, babe, you want to go out and eat? Yeah, I want to go out and eat. You know what? It ain't no black restaurants in our city. Let's just go to the supermarket and buy something and come on back. And then ultimately start at that point. Get our own supermarkets. We eat. We have to eat. Get our own supermarkets and go to them. And when other people come, let them in. Treat them nice. Then we'll be a small minority, but with businesses that people just can't stay out of. Man, you might want to buy a particular product, but it ain't the same unless you're buying it from black people. And we are such a small group. They'll be saying, oh, what? You guys have a soul food restaurant in your town? Because all the other soul food restaurants will dry up. You notice what they're doing with them now? They're making them national chains. And if you go to a city, they got 4 or 5 of them. And a lot of them aren't owned by blacks. And in some communities, they still are. But we need to get to a place where we can support that shit. And they can support that. If they find out we got a nightclub with a live rapper on stage or a live blues singer or a live jazz singer, and then there's another club on the other side of town owned by a white guy, which might be a little more upscale, food might be better, all kind of shit. But that authenticity, you can't fuck with it. And if the money will come when the people come, and then you can move up instead of going and supporting them. Why would you water down whatever it is you bring? Because they're going to make you water it down so it's palatable to who they really want to cater to. They're not going to let you come in there and turn it into a juke joint. But you can make your shit a juke joint, a high-class juke joint that'll shut their juke joint down. They'll be like, oh, shit, we should have listened. That's all I'm saying. The boycott is bullshit. Martin Luther King did it. It was bullshit. But during that time, people felt that they were doing something. And we didn't know any better. We didn't know any better that supporting our oppressor is the wrong thing to do. So don't spend no money with them and don't call it a boycott. Call it the way you live, your lifestyle, the way black people are. And there people, and no people respect you for that. And they'll say, oh yeah, you ain't gonna see no black people in here. Why not? Oh, they don't go to Denny's, man, please. They like waffles and chicken, authentic shit that's cooked right. You know, they like their shit with a little bit of grease in it. They like this shit a particular way. And even though we know how to cook it and we know how to make it like that, they still don't come because they like authenticity. And that's all, and that's their standard. And then it'll make other people come to us instead of us going to them. We're way more powerful that way. I hope that makes sense. I hate boycotts. I never thought boycotts were effective for most of my adult life. I just was thinking, why would you do that? Why would you do that? Just quit fucking with them. For real, fucking with them. Why would you boycott their buses when there are some cities in the United States at that time that had buses that were owned by black? They weren't the same buses. I know. The money wasn't there yet. But we could have, instead of boycotting or calling it a boycott, just call it a change of lifestyle or the lifestyle that we live. And it's all about loving and supporting each other. I don't think there's nothing wrong with it.
Joined Reverend Al Sharpton to shop at Costco in support of the company's commitment to diversity, equity, and inclusion. Shareholders recently voted against a proposal to assess the risks.
This is not a boycott. This is a boycott, where we are buying into companies that are supporting.
And look who's out there talking about a boycott. See, they can't take a boycott. You said, because that's what some shit sound like, the civil rights era, and something black people's attached to it. This is not a boycott. This is a boycott. You can't do shit by yourself. I'm telling you. They gonna take it over. They gonna morph it into what they want it to be, and then put your ass out there on the front line of it. And you're gonna be the face of it, and they're gonna be like, "Well, I really didn't like this part." Well, goddamn it, do it, because you're a part of a coalition. We don't need to be a part of a coalition. Our contribution needs to be the products and the talent and the things that we can contribute to the United States, and have them come over and buy it from us. That's what it needs to happen. Our rappers need to quit fucking with white producers. Our rappers need to quit fucking with white bosses. You build your own studio, motherfucker. You got enough money to build the studio. You ain't working out of a fucking garage no more. That's thinking our way out of this shit. Everybody out there flipping money on stage and making it rain. And all you got to do is take that money you fucking off in the street. Puff Daddy party's $1 million. You could take a fucking Puff Daddy party and start how many businesses for black people? He can't give $10,000 grants out so people can go do something with it, or $50,000 grants. He'd rather throw a after-hour booty. It makes no sense. That's our lifestyle choices and thinking. And then this man's out here, throwing money out a window, basically. And we worried about boycotting Target. And we think that's going to get us somewhere. The Republicans are in power. Right now, you guys, they're trying to find something for us to do. They're trying to keep us busy. Idle mind is the devil's workshop. I know y'all heard that shit before. It is. And they got to keep us busy. So they're giving us shit to do. They reintroduced the 40 acres and a mule, and figure a little boycott, and of all people, Al Sharpton. If you black and you still like Al Sharpton in 2025, you ain't black. Al Sharpton. How can anybody look at him with any kind of credibility? He's just fucked up. I don't even know if I was going to say it would be a good book to read, but he wouldn't tell the truth. He ain't going to tell the truth, but to know his life story is like just crazy. To think that him and Jesse Jackson were on the cusp of taking over the civil rights fight when Martin Luther King died. Notice how it changed so drastically after Martin Luther King died, because that was a we don't like it like that. Oh, now we changed into what they do like, and they're comfortable and have been. And you notice no matter how much we comply and conform, they keep twisting. They like us, but they want to control the way we move. And it just makes us look so horrible. You can tell black people that's controlled by white people. They stick out like a sore thumb.
DEI measures.
This comes days after President Donald Trump signed an executive order to get rid of DEI programs. Related documents on websites like the U.S. Office of Personnel Management are gone. An HBCU conference at Rutgers University funded by the Department of Labor was canceled. The president has also called for all federal DEI staff to be put on paid leave and eventually laid off.
DEI started to gain traction after the killing of George Floyd.
See, it's just an ignorant motherfucker right here. It started to gain traction after the killing of George. You know how many goddamn black people have been fucked up by the police? And what if you go through the system and everything, all your needs are met? You don't get beat up on the way down to the police station. They put the handcuffs on and don't cut into the bones in your skin and break your skin and shit. And you make it through your sentence in the court and all that shit unharmed physically. And then you get returned back to the street. And that's one of the positive ones that go through that system. This motherfucker here. This is why we go to prison and get beat up by the police and killed, because he's talking about George Floyd. When we need to be talking about police brutality and the way these police departments are run. When they come out to your house and break all kind of little rules and disrespect your wife and your family and whatever the issue might be, as police officers coming to black people's homes, that shit shouldn't be happening the way it is. We let ourselves be policed in a way that we know is not appropriate. If the police are called to your home for an event that doesn't even require a gun, and they come in with bulletproof vests and stuff on, it's just a bad look. It's just not something that we should be exposed to. And our children, and a police officer come near your kid, or you or encounter them in any capacity, and your kids are looking at them like, fuck, that would give you the opinion that something ain't safe around here. It's you. If I know for a fact, if there were not black people in the United States of America, police wouldn't look the way they do. And we only, they keep saying 14% of the population, but I think they should adjust for the men who are locked up in prison and the ones that they murdered early and didn't make it, and the ones who are being ineffective because they weren't educated properly. So when you really break it down to the black people who we have, and those are the ones that we see the most commonly, because we're not homeless, so we don't see the homeless black people unless you happen to be going in and out of a store or depending on the area you live in. It's a horrible thing. They did this shit to us, and we still trying to knock on the door and praying that they open it and let us in. I'm telling you, as soon as we quit knocking, they're going to come look for us. They cannot live independent of us. We were brought here as their slaves, and they really ain't never relinquished that shit. It's something fucking going on there. And we refuse to goddamn cut the cord too. We just as guilty as they are in a lot of instances. I must say, we need to let this shit go. Fuck Target. Fuck what Target is going through. Then they boycott and DEI. Hire whoever they want. You can go to a motherfucking Target and you go to a goddamn Walmart. And in my personal opinion, I don't know what they're doing over there at Target differently, but it don't look like Walmart's. Walmart's are fucked up. Walmart's are real fucked up looking stores. The employees be having them dirty ass fucking vests on, and then at the end of the shift, they just take it and tie it around their neck and walk off. You be like, man, what the fuck? It's just no self-respect. You don't see Target employees looking like that. Their uniforms look cleaner. They're red and bright and shit. And the Walmart shit look off. I'm just drawing a comparison between those two. So I don't know. But I don't see any difference I see Hispanic women and black women and in both, employed in both. I have never got the impression that DEI has affected. I guess when I go in the stores, I'm just looking at the people and how they treat me, and I've never had bad service in either one. Some different kind of folks, but bad service, nah. They just doing what they're paid to do. I get it, but I just think that Target holds a higher standard. If I was going to, pick one as my favorite store, it'd be Target. But as black people, we could have our own Target. It could start off small. Sam Walton started off small with Walmart. But can you imagine a store that pretty much caters to what black people like, and other people want what black people like? They want to know what we like too. They really would probably accept us better if we didn't feel we needed to boycott, if we really felt independent of ourselves. Boycotting and forcing to be in somebody's shit, and then when you get in it, it just look different to them, and they be like, but that's okay. It's racism. It's America. It is what the fuck it is. But what we need to do is just do our own shit the way we do it. And other people are going to do upshoots from it and try to start off their own. especially the Asians, they come over, they fry chicken like a motherfucker. Oh my God. You go to a Louisiana fried chicken in the LA area, it's Asians, they own them. But you go outside the line and it's all black people in line. I've been seeing that for decades and I hate to see that. You go to the fish stores in LA back in the 70s and shit, when we on our way home and Pops and them don't want to cook, they pull in a fish store or a chicken joint and it was usually either ran or owned by blacks. And blacks were in there working. Now you go to these stores and it's Asians and Hispanics who own them, and they're cooking the same style foods that we like, and black people are on the other side of the counter buying this shit. Go to Detroit, go to LA, go to Chicago. I know they do that shit to us. And that's what we need to stop going. Don't go. Don't fucking go. Buy from a black person. A black person, or 2 or 3 of you who are doing better than others, get together and open up a little shop. Open up a spot. If you ain't into cooking, hire somebody. But we could do it ourselves and to find out how much money we're really throwing outside of our community. If we see it coming in, we'll be like, God damn, they're making that. Yeah, they're making a lot of money off of us. And they're doing nothing but making food probably in a more unhealthy way. It ain't like soul food is the healthiest shit in the world. So you don't need nothing else but authentic butter and the shit that's gonna kill you of natural causes. And they might have some other ingredients that we don't know. We probably ain't tasting. But we need to control what goes in our mouth, what goes in our head, what goes in our pockets. We need to do this. The DEI. Are you serious? Black people, we benefit the least from DEI. And we want to start letting this motherfucker get out here and talk about boycotting some shit. I wish I fucking would ever listen to Al Sharpton. Never. Anybody who saw how our struggle in that civil rights ended should not get up doing the same shit again. Or nothing even close, not even the same terminology. We got to come at them different. We know that during the 60s, Malcolm X and Martin Luther King were infiltrated by FBI and CIA agents, and they were interested in what black people. It's looked at as a threat to better yourself. It's looked at as a threat. That's why our methods we don't need to be out in the street marching to be let in. We already in. We just need to work our magic from the inside like we here already. Quit going to their hair shops. Quit going to their fucking hair shops. Get together, network, and get your own shit going. They ain't going to ever finance shit for us. If we ever get the kind of money where black people can really be known as business owners, we're not known as business owners. We need to be known as business owners. Jewish people are. Most Jewish people that you think about in this country, it could be a law practice, it could be whatever, but they are business-minded, business-oriented people. And it's unfortunate that they are kicking our ass when they harness our professional athletes' contracts, and they harness our rappers and singers and actors. Who's signing these contracts? Who's making these a lot of Jewish lawyers and a lot of Jewish managers, and they could be easily replaced with black ones. That's the kind of stuff that gets you in trouble, because you start talking about, hey, you're talking about loving your own race. That's all I'm saying. Just love your own race. Ain't nothing wrong with that. And as black people, we need to do it more than anybody. More than anybody. We got a big fight going on in this country, and I don't think black people are getting it. The big fight is over the immigrants, the illegal immigrants, not the immigrants, the illegal immigrants. So we're having a big old fight in this country about the illegal immigrants, and we're just sitting there watching it and paying attention to it, and they ain't fighting about us. Never, ever, never have, never will. And when it was, and slavery don't count, and the Civil War, that's just fucked up. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they're fighting to take these immigrants and change their lives in the best of ways. They were fighting to keep us in slavery or to let us physically out. But that's a whole big old different kind of fight than somebody fighting to help you. Cities in the United States of America going against the Constitution, going against it for a legal immigrant so that he can have the same rights as your citizens. What party would do that? And what people would follow that party? And they ignore us the way they do, and we supposed to support a party that puts an illegal immigrant on a higher plane than we're on? Nah.
Corporations came forward and said, we're going to do diversity. We're going to do this because race needs to be dealt with.
Recently, Amazon, Walmart, McDonald's, and Meta have all rolled back their policies. The latest company to ditch DEI is Target.
I think many of them are realizing that these DEI programs were unfair. We find out when it's actually implemented, it's more like discrimination.
Hey, discrimination. That's what I'm saying. I really believe everybody just need to be left alone. I kind of didn't agree with this at first, but if it takes the government to make us act right, think about this. And then Trump comes in and says, fuck this DEI policies, and they roll them back into the world just goes into chaos in a month. What good a job did the Democrats do? They didn't do a good a job then, did they? If somebody can come in and in 1 month undo whatever it is we've been living under since I've been born. So that's why I don't think that we need to be a part of this, because it's too uncertain. I think we need to plan I don't think all racial groups in the United States are as affected as the black people are, because we are 100% consumer, pretty much, except for the elites, but it's just so few and far between on that level. So I totally believe that if we can change our lifestyles, change our mindset, and not look at anything as a demonstration or a boycott, it's just the way we are. It's just the way the motherfucking shit gotta be. If you're a black man and you're going to a Latin barber, I don't know what the problem is. He probably cutting the shit out some hair, but there are black men who can get out. And black barbers, I think, are really doing really well now because it's other races seeking them out. Because there's some black dudes that can cut some hair. It's some Latin dudes that can cut some hair too. That's why some black people go to them. But just in the grand scheme of things and to support black businesses, I love to see my black barbers because that's a business owner. You know what I mean? A guy start off doing it, coming to your house and everything. But if he can get a storefront and really get it up there and get it rolling, haircuts cost a lot of money. That's why I do the low discount. My haircuts are, I almost get paid when I cut my hair. That's how inexpensive I made it. So you never believe it. But anyway, folks, I just don't think that we need to keep getting swallowed up into trying to fit in. If you put it together a puzzle and one piece don't fit, you got to keep looking until you find a place where it fits and put it there. You can't force it in somewhere else. I've done that shit. A piece that fits, but the colors ain't right. And you be like, hey, fit though. Nah, that's how puzzles are. And this has been quite a puzzle we've been involved in the United States. And we just have to navigate it better and quit listening to people. Some people hear things like a boycott and they just snap back to Martin Luther King was shot, in the neck or in the head or something and killed, murdered in Memphis in 1968. And that is not the kind of shit that should excite you and make you want to participate in a boycott. Boycotts and shit are not good for us. So don't boycott. Just quit. No one can be mad at you if they say, God, the blacks don't even go to Target no more. And then maybe Tabitha Brown can find out what the leading black retailers are and market our stuff out through them. That makes more sense. Then that's something I can get behind. But don't be thinking I'm going to support your ass through Target because you just making me come through Target to get to you. Nah, it got to be more of a direct line. Or you could say, you're a business owner, do what you want to do. Unless you sign some shit. But if you didn't sign no shit, then you can sell through Target and you can sell independently on your own. Tell black people, hey, y'all, I appreciate your support and I love it. But I like for you guys to contact me at this website directly. And if your business start getting bigger on that side, then you can walk away from Target, I think. But they got something shit going on probably because I sure didn't hear her say anything like that. There are other ways to get my products. Never heard that. It's like you have to go to Walmart. Probably because Walmart and they would look at her, it's like, pulling customers away from them. It is some shit going on that she can't do that because she didn't do that. And she should do that. Fuck it. Because it ain't about us. It's about her. And that don't mean nothing to me. It's about us. I would so much rather the black race get turned upside down and the many are doing good and the few are doing bad. I bet you we look like a different fucking group of people walking around here, but we ain't, because we okay with just a few doing good, because they okay with just a few doing good.
At all.
DEI programs basically prevent us from going backwards to a time when white supremacy and white straight men ruled the law of the land.
And they still do. Where the fuck has she been? Damn it. When do white men not run this motherfucker? They do. It just is what it is. And they keep trying to play like and then a white woman of all motherfucking people. How in the hell can a white woman who gets to go home in most cases to a white man talk about them as if they're the enemy? That's some bullshit. That's some bullshit. And they need to knock that off. They okay. Let them DEI mean something for somebody else. Let's quit letting them or lending ourselves to that shit. We don't need it. We don't need no special programs from the government. We don't. Because they harm us. In 30 days, this motherfucker has turned everybody's lives upside down. We should let a president get in there and do that kind of shit and be looking to see, where's he going with this? You know, maybe he can do something that might enhance where we're already at, but he's not going to hurt it. That's not us. We screaming, oh no, the checks are going to stop. Oh no. Oh, the benefits, fuck. Yeah, you get it? In 30, that lets you see what kind of a good ass job the Democrats has done. The party, we just holding on to their leg, saying won't let them go away from us too far. And I see why. We need them to protect us from Trump and people like him, because we won't do it ourselves. We need to do it ourselves.
So we are trying to prevent that pushback, which is clearly happening in this administration right now.
And this isn't the end to their call to action. Reverend Al Sharpton says over the next 90 days, they'll identify businesses who have abandoned those DEI policies and boycott them.
That's the dumbest shit in the world. Don't boycott nobody, you guys. Live your life the way you have been for your convenience right now. But the master plan and the change of lifestyle needs to happen. It needs to happen soon. It needs to happen as quick as you guys see Trump in there doing the damn things he's doing. That's how quick we need to be moving. He's taking this shit real seriously, and we need to as well. Al Sharpton is not taking this shit well. He's not taking it serious. He just fucking coming up with some... Martin Luther King thought of that shit already. Look where it got him. Look where it got us. It didn't get us anywhere. It just made us want to cling to our oppressor harder. Take our money and give it to them. All they have to do is smile at us when they just racially resenting against us. But we just got to take our money to them. That's just ridiculous. No one in this modern day and age with modern thinking should be even encouraging their people to go down that path. Why would you? Because Al Sharpton ain't sat down and figured it out in a way that benefits us. He sat down and figured it out in a way that benefits him. He knows how to act to make that money keep coming into his account. But his money would lessen, but his information out to black people would be more beneficial if he gave a fuck. But he really don't give a fuck. I just want you guys to know that I'm not trying to tell people to don't be a Democrat. But I am. But I don't want to be coming off like, but black people, you cannot be Democrats. And then once we get ourselves right, you can be a Democrat. Then you'll understand how politics work and how there are pet projects and little things that you might get your politician, your local government involved in to try to help you on that level. But right now, we need to disengage from really making that our priority. Like government matters that much. We need to knock it down a few notches so that our lifestyles and the way that we think and the way we naturally spend our money and our resources benefit us, make us rise to the top without even trying. And then we don't have people like Al Sharpton who can get a free paycheck out of MSNBC by leading us nowhere. Well, Al, what do you think? I think I can start a boycott. Oh, yeah, that's a great idea. Yeah, no one's ever thought of that one before. It's a great one. Let's see how that works, Al, because they know black people still biting on it. If he said that shit and they knew black people didn't listen to that kind of talk no more, they would say, Al, what the fuck are you talking about? You know nobody ain't boycotted since 68. And then he'd be like, oh, yeah, you're right. But it still work. And not only are the white people willing to do it to us, we got our own motherfuckers who we got to watch. They willing to keep bringing out the old playbook just to keep you safe from going outside of where the white people feel comfortable. Because as soon as you don't make them feel uncomfortable, bad things happen. I mean, in every way. And we haven't even figured out how to take our police departments back. And when I say that, I mean any police department that polices a significant amount of black people, that's a police department that we need to have control over in some way. When you're not a law-breaking person and you have not broken the law and you're negotiating for a particular way for a police department to be, you are not the criminal who's been arrested complaining. You should have a standard of how you want the young people, your grandkids and nephews and neighbors being treated by the police. And not just saying, oh, them damn police. No, you don't have to complain about that over your kitchen table. You can actually go down to a city council meeting, enough black people, and get that changed. But we don't realize the amount of power we have. So we keep relinquishing it and allowing people like Al Sharpton to, I guess, encourage us to be guided astray and our pockets being picked. It's really a terrible thing, folks. But anyway, let's move different. Let's start moving different. Somebody give you some information that you think is going to benefit black people. Don't just pass it on the way it came to you. Investigate it a little bit. Take some of that bullshit out and add something to the story and then pass it on to your friends and loved ones. Don't tell your parents shit that's going to harm them. If my mom and my dad were still here, I want convenience for them. And right now, I'm not going to tell them to be boycotting Target and having to go to another store farther away. Just go to Target and do what you've been doing, Mom, and you'll be good. But going forward, we're gonna make your generation proud of our generation. We're gonna do better, and we're gonna try to strengthen the ones coming behind us, so that we can make ourselves proud and not just be going on bullshit boycotts. And if we have this conversation in 5 years, nobody will ever know what came of this boycott because it's some bullshit. Let's start something that's going to really give us some tangible, something that makes sense, because y'all know reparations ain't happening. We can't even get hired in certain places. We over here trying to boycott Target. Get the fuck out of here. We need a black Target. It should look just like that Target, but with a black dot. I bet people will come to our shit more. But we don't have that kind of confidence, and I'm sure it would be met with resistance. I'm sure it would be, and I think that those are the kind of fights that we need to win. We need to go to court and win those kind of fights. When there's like saying, no, they have to shop with us. And we're saying, no, we don't. They'll take you to court over that shit probably, because they feel they still own us. They still feel they own us. And it's set up, the hierarchy is set up a little differently. They go to the Al Sharptons and the professional athletes and the rappers to communicate to us. But they get the message down to the ground. And we got to do something about these people passing the messages. Al Sharpton need to be straight put in check. He go in completely black venues where it's just black folks, and he think he got it like that. Somebody need to step to him and be like, hey man, what's wrong with you? You fucking crazy? Because he know the right politics. He know the right shit. He doing this to line his own pockets, and we up here talking about Trump. Trump is no different than Al Sharpton. He's the white dude up there probably trying to line his pockets, but he can't not line Elon Musk and all these other rich white people's pockets, and that keeps the country strong and keep things moving economically in the right direction. What Al Sharpton is doing only benefits Al Sharpton. Al Sharpton ain't doing it and setting up other black men at all. He's setting up Al Sharpton and barely making it by the skin of his fucking teeth, because as soon as they see his popularity and connection to the black community start to drop, and he's getting older, they're going to have to replace him. But who knows who's coming along next? Him and Jesse Jackson's credibility was they rode in on the back end of that civil rights. So they had the civil rights credibility. And when they speak, you think you're speaking or hearing from Martin Luther King himself, because they were in his presence, and nothing could be further from the truth. These motherfuckers are just making up shit to get a good paycheck. And I really do believe we at a moment, folks, where we just need to change our lifestyle. And I don't think it'll be too much more talk about reparations. If we start moving different, you'll see the money going up, and they'll be like, y'all don't need no reparations. They already say we don't need reparations when we're poor. Then we make a lot of money. We don't need reparations. We're never going to need reparations. I get it. So we're going to have to be our own reparations. Find black people who you trust. We've been historically driven away from our own family members in business. and told, oh no, don't do business with family, when they got all these companies, Hills Brothers, Stater Brothers, all these brothers who done business successfully, but they tell us don't do business with brothers. Let that sink in. Like, comment, share, and please subscribe. And we'll see you on the next Black Popcorn.